People don't believe me that I'm 40 years old, and I'm getting a lot of questions. I was born in 1980. That's one. Thank you very much. Another thing is, do you date younger guys? I don't know. You tell me. Should I?
What's good, Authentic fam, and welcome back to Authentic Alphas. Won't you go ahead and like the video on the way in? This one's going to be a good one, guys. So I have another request here from Remy K. So big shout outs to Remy K for this contribution. It says, this is for the Sugar Mama guide for us youngsters. I'm 25 years old, 6'3", and working on my physique. So Remy donated $160. Yeah, man. So really appreciate you for that one, Remy. You went above and beyond. That $160 actually went to a Cam Link, much needed little gadget. For those of you who don't know what a Cam Link is, it's the Elgato brand actually, and what it does is it allows you to use this dope ass camera right here as a webcam. So I'll be able to do live streams. You guys will be able to support through the super chats, so that's like really a necessity. So appreciate you again for that one, Remy. For anybody else that wants to support the channel, help it grow, help support the content, and fund the equipment needed, the best way to do that, guys, is to finance and sponsor a video just like your boy Remy did, so that we could go ahead and share this content with everybody. So Remy's actually been asking for this for a while, so it's not that I've been ignoring you. It's just like I said, man, you guys are gonna have to contribute moving forward in 2022. So he did the right thing with that. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So thanks for that Venmo, bro. Now I went ahead and put some notes so I didn't miss anything. So now when it comes to Sugar Mommas, first and foremost, I think it's always good to define what we're talking about. So I assume that he's talking about a woman that's going to be basically financing the relationship. So someone that's going to be generous, giving gifts, you know what I mean? But the thing is that I think a lot of us assume that that's an older woman. So I have here, 3 different categories that I think can all be referred to as Sugar Mamas, just so that we're clear. So I have older women, okay? So that would be women, a good 10 years older than you. I wouldn't necessarily consider a woman, 2 to 6 years older than you an older woman. I mean, she's just older than you. So when I think older woman, I think like a good, 7, 8 plus years older. So let's just, for the sake of argument, say a woman 10 years older than you. If you're 20, you're dating a 30-year-old, dude, you got an older woman. All right. But for somebody like me, older is getting a little too old. But when I was in my 20s and my 30s, I definitely did always try to have an older woman in the rotation. So the next category I would say is Cougar. Now Cougar, I think, can be just like an attractive woman that's between, I would say, 35 and 45. I guess you could probably stretch it to 50, but again, for the sake of argument, let's say 35 to about 45. Now for me, that wouldn't necessarily be an older woman, but she would still be a cougar, if you guys kind of know what I mean. And the last category here is just women with money in general. And the reason why I put that there is because you can have a chick that's your age or younger, and she's just spending money, giving you money, and I think that still kind of would be a sugar mama because the sugar's still there. So when you say sugar, we're talking about money. We're talking about gifts. We're talking about financing. That kind of stuff. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. And what I want to start off with is basically why cougars or older women would be interested in younger men. Let's first get to why they would even be having that type of relationship or situation, right? Because you guys could have whatever number of reasons for why you're interested in this content, because I've had other guys besides Remy ask about it, like, give us a video about Sugar Mamas. So I would assume you guys have your reasons why. So I'm going to focus on why I think the women would be interested in younger guys, so that you guys could figure out whether or not you even fit the bill. because not every guy can just like have a sugar mama. You know what I mean? Like, what is she putting that sugar on? You get what I mean? So the first thing I have here is probably what most would assume, which is the sex. But it obviously isn't just sex in general, because they could sleep with guys their age. So I put sport fucking because that's a specific type of sex.
Reasons why I date younger men. One, and the most important reason, it's the sex.
That would be like, you know, the Olympics of sex. It would be the athleticism, the energy, the endurance. So if you had an older woman and she's interested in younger men for sex, there obviously is something in particular that these younger guys are bringing to the bedroom that a guy her age or older wouldn't be bringing, right? So that's that enthusiasm, you know, that curiosity and that stage of your life where you're trying to learn and explore. A lot of older women are interested in that. Also, the fact that to the younger guys, the sex is it's still like a uncharted territory. You know, it's still a frontier, right? So they're interested in that, right? Then, of course, like I said, was the endurance. You know, there's just the fact that you're so young and full of energy and vibrant. I know when I was in my 20s, bro, it was like a jackrabbit. It was hours. And what else? What I was saying? So just yeah, basically that level of enthusiasm, right? And the need to please, or the desire to please or measure up. I think a lot of older women like that aspect of younger guys, because younger guys fuck like they have something to prove.
Guys are innately wired to chase, and when they think that you're this like older, more mature woman, they have this desire to chase for longer to prove to you that they can provide for you, please you in and outside the bedroom.
You know, they're trying to measure up. They're trying to prove something to the woman and let her know that that they can handle it. Whereas I think guys their age or older may tend to kind of be in it for themselves. You know, they might be a little bit more selfish, the sex. And so I think that covers it for the sex. You know, let's not talk about that too much, because there's a hell of a lot more to it than that. And I want you guys to know that, because you young whippersnappers have no idea what's going on in women's heads, let alone older women. All right. Okay, so the next one, some might figure it out, and it's feeling young again. So as a young guy or younger guy, if you can pull off the ability to make a woman feel young without being childish, it's a thin line.
Remember when relationships were fun, when there was none of those societal pressures about marriage and babies, and it was just about getting to know each other and going on adventures? Well, when you date a younger man, you get to have that relationship again. And by doing so, you actually get to learn about the person and you get to enjoy each other's company. And I think it creates a much more authentic experience where you can figure out if you actually like who they are.
And being able to understand how women's feelings work and being able to basically control it is always going to work regardless the age. Regardless the age of female, the ability to direct, manipulate, control, and influence their feelings is really going to be the key. Okay, across the board, regardless of age, you know, where whatever. That's one place where women do not differ as far as what's going to work with them. The number one thing is always going to be the ability to control the fluctuation of their feelings. So yeah, making them feel young again. And I mean, that's a whole video all within itself. But if I could come up with some examples, you know, being carefree, spontaneous, excited. You know, you have to have that look of wonder in your eyes, like everything is new to you, even if it isn't. So this part is important because there's a lot of acting that's going to be required when you're dealing with older women, whether it's genuine or not. You're going to have to learn to play the part, right? So think of yourself as, you know, the pool boy, the landscaper. You're there to do a job. All right, that's straight up, guys. It's not going to be about you. Even if it is about you, keep that to yourself, and you're going to have to learn how to make it about them. So you're going to have to always come off as positive and adventurous, carefree and stress-free. These things are very important, as women older than you will have more stress in their life. They will have had more disappointments, more bad experiences, more baggage, luggage, the whole 9 yards.
A younger man can carry your baggage because he doesn't have any of his own.
Even if you do have an element of those things, don't show it around her, don't express it around her. If even there's something that's not going well, learn how to mention it without being a Debbie Downer. Okay? Like, oh man, you know, the schoolwork is kicking my ass. I'm swamped with schoolwork and I really just want to take a break and have a really good time. So you're mentioning that schoolwork is a headache to you, it's a hassle, but at the same time, you're not weighing her down with that. You're saying, basically, I would like to get away from that and have a good time with you with the little bit of time that I do have. So you kind of have to learn how to be a stress relief, if that makes any sense to you. And that's what she's going to reward. You know what I mean? That type of effect. Okay, so the next thing that these women would be looking for from a young guy is attention and validation. So as women get older, even more so in these current times, they begin to miss all the attention they used to get when they were younger, all the compliments.
The reason that I tend to date younger men has actually evolved over the years. In the beginning, I was newly divorced and I had very low self-confidence because of my sexless marriage and my ex-husband constantly turning me down for sex. It really eroded my self-esteem over time. The younger guys I dated in that first year really helped me get it back.
The long eye contact is very important. That's a jewel right there. If you can make strong eye contact with an older woman before even meeting her, and then also as you engage with her and communicate with her as a relationship goes on, very, very valuable, extremely valuable. And that strong eye contact with no words. When she's speaking to you, give her strong eye contact and listen. So just the art of giving her attention is going to be very much appreciated because she's not getting it as much as she used to. Even if she's still a good looking woman, even if she's still a cougar, she's not getting it like she used to. So that is key. That's valuable. That's treasure to her. Giving her that one-on-one attention and that validation. And one of the best ways to level that up is when you're speaking to her, or if you're with her in public and there's other younger, more attractive women around, make it clear to her that you didn't even notice those other girls. Like, you're oblivious to them. So it's almost like you're convincing her that you're more attracted to women her age. Also learn how to verbalize your attraction to her, being based on her maturity, her experience, her wisdom, and how gracefully she's aging without being offensive. So that becomes an art within itself. How to compliment her on her age without offending her about her age. Again, that's like a whole nother fucking video. But pay attention, guys. You're gonna learn something. All right. So I attached the attention to the validation. So I kind of was straying more into the validation when I said learn how to compliment her about her age. So compliments on what she knows that you don't know, as if to say you value her wisdom and her experience and you're eager to learn. So if she ever mentions something that you don't know about, like she's ever trying to put you up on something, then you got to follow up with it. Like, oh, you know what? That would be awesome. I would love that. Like, when can we do that? And then she'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to take you to this place. You know, you'll love it if you've never been. Or have you ever read this particular book? No, I haven't. You know what I mean? I would like to read that book. Do you have it? Can I borrow that book? Or even a movie. Oh, I've never seen that movie. You know what? We should get together. Like, let me figure out who's streaming it. If I can find out who's streaming it, I would love to watch that movie with you. That's a way to make her feel young again, because when she watches that movie, that's probably 15, 20 years old, it's going to bring her back to when she was the age she was when the movie was released, All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so being desired. I know it kind of sounds like number 2 and even number 3, but your mind and female mind is not the same. So in a female's mind, all these things are distinctly separate. All right. So feeling young again is separate from attention and validation, and that is also separate from being desired. So much like attention starts to become scarce as a woman, hits the wall and goes post-wall, so does desirability, which in turn makes her feel less desirable. Now, whether or not she is, that's a whole nother story. What women feel and what reality actually is not often going to be the same thing. So your job as a younger guy is to make her feel like ice cream on a cone, to make her feel like water in the desert. You want her to feel like oxygen in outer space. You understand? You want her to feel like she's that desired, right? That you just can't you can't stop thinking about her or being with her, or you want to just eat her up, right? So there's many ways you can do this. Eye contact is, of course, is one of them, and you kind of do an eye contact and maybe shake your head like, oh, I will fuck the shit out of you, or you know what I mean. Knowing how to make sexual jokes and banter is more appreciated by older women. If you can have good sexual banter, it is a huge plus to them. So you have to be witty, spontaneous with the conversation. And then there's also, of course, just your basic compliments. Also, what you do with your body language, as well as how you touch her, the opportunities that you take to touch her. So they need to be respectful, but still insatiable. Man, I have so much to teach you guys. It's going to take forever, but, you know, it's worth it. So the next thing is, so we hit being desired, right? Yeah, that's important. She has to feel desired. The next thing is excitement. You have to understand, chicks have the opportunities from a very young age that you won't start getting until you're grown-ass man well into your 30s. They've already been getting those offers and opportunities and invites since their late teens. So excitement for them is very valuable as they get older, because it's harder to impress them. It's harder, for them to feel excited because they've already been there, done that. So it's your job to kind of do things that are going to be exciting, to give them good surprises, positive surprises to look forward to. You have to always be fun. But I don't want this to sound like work, guys, because it really shouldn't. These are things that you should already be practicing as it is. You should already be developing that aura about you, that you are fun, you're the life of the party. Think of it this way. An activity or going somewhere is only going to be as fun as the person that you go with. Think of it that way, because that's how she's thinking of it. So she can go to the movies with her girlfriends, but is it going to be as fun as going with you? She can go have a couple of drinks with her girlfriends. She could have wine at home with her girlfriends. Again, are any of these things going to be as fun as they are going to be with you? If you go with her to see a rom-com, or you come over her place and Netflix and chill, you have to be able to watch that rom-com, maintain your masculinity, right? Maintain your frame, but still enjoy that movie with her. And that's all going to be in the way that you make your jokes, the way that you respond to it. So you need to be able to say like, oh, yeah, right. Like that would never happen in real life. You know what I mean? But you have to still be fun with it. You can't insult her or insult what she likes or her tastes. So if she is cultured, you need to compliment that and say, oh, you know what? I like that. I would love to have the experiences that you've had or learn the things that you've learned. That sounds very interesting. I would like to learn those things, and I'm just getting started. And that's going to in turn make her want to introduce you to all of these things. So you want to level up your etiquette. You want to level up your class. And I think that goes more into the type of older women that you choose to interact with, or that you can actually even get. So allow her to upgrade your dress and your fashion. Allow her to put you on, to how to wear suits, or basically just how to have a more distinguished look. Let her do that, because if she's doing that, she's going to be paying for it. If she wants to see you in a suit, she's the one that's going to pay for that suit. You get what I'm saying? If she wants to see you in some glasses instead of contacts, she's the one that's going to buy those glasses. She wants you to have a certain haircut, she's the one paying the guy at Supercuts. All right. So what's next? So we did excitement, right? So it's important to be exciting. If the fair is in town, go to the fair with her. If there's a wine tasting event, go with her to that. But be funnier and more exciting than the guys her age.
Younger men. The preference is younger men, and I'm going to tell you why. While older men are probably a little bit more established, a little more mature, they also probably have a closet full of baggage, which means that they're not going to have room for your baggage, okay?
So next would be acceptance. Now, older women are already going to be obviously who they are. They're stuck in their ways. They know themselves by now. Whatever path they took, they probably doubled down on it because, you know, that's how women are. We know how women are. They don't necessarily have a skill for acknowledging bad decisions they've made or taking accountability or whatever. So a lot of times if they pick the path, even if, you know, evidence has shown maybe this isn't the right direction, they're going to be stubborn and they're going to double down and go down that road. And they're going to become resentful for anybody that doesn't agree with it or challenges it. So what I'm trying to say is, if a woman, let's say hypothetically, chose career, right? She chose to prioritize education and career, which I hope is the case if you're dealing with a sugar mama, right? The only other way that they're going to get a lot of money, or in my head, the three top ways I would think that a sugar mama would have money is if she was a career woman and became successful and accomplished. Ching, ching, ching. If she used to be a dancer, used to be a porn star or something like that, where she monetized her looks, maybe she was a bartender or someone where she made a ton of money and she might have invested it well or something like that. So there again, ching, ching, ching. And the other way, of course, is the, you know, all depressing reality for men is that she probably got divorced and she's getting a chunk of alimony, right? So I think those would be the three most likely ways that a sugar mama would have money. And of course, you could come from money, but women that come from money usually are probably married up. I guess you could say that's the fourth way she might have money, if she was born into money. All right. So anyway, I say all of that as to say that all of those are things that you would need to accept, and your acceptance would be valuable, because those are all things that guys her age and older probably aren't going to be interested in and probably are going to be a turnoff for them, hence the lack of acceptance. So for example, if a chick is 44 and sorry guys, I got distracted by all this ass right here. Damn, if I could, oh, never mind, she's with a dude, so I'm not going to turn the camera on her, but body is sick. She's in like a one-piece swimming suit, but the ass is, all right, sorry about that, guys. That would have been a potential interview if she wasn't with a dude. So let's say a chick is like 44 and she works at the bank or whatever. You know, she makes a lot of money.
Younger men tend to go for older women because they're looking for financial stability and status.
Guys her age and older, that's not going to be a good look for them, because they're like, listen, she's super busy. She's going to be having these masculine traits. She's always going to be thinking and talking and stressing about work and blah, blah. So they're not going to really want to accept that whole career woman path, right? Let's say that she used to be a model, used to be a dancer, used to be a bartender, whatever. Well, guess what? Guys her age and older are going to be like, you used to be, hot. You used to be whatever. So again, the acceptance thing is gonna be scarce with men of that age. And then the next thing is the divorce. If she divorced somebody and she's taking that money, again, guys her age and older probably aren't gonna like that too much. It's not gonna be music to their ears. It's not gonna be really attractive, as they've probably been divorced before and got their ex-wife getting them for money. And if she comes from money, then she's probably going to be on a whole nother status level than you would be as a younger guy. So you have to find a way to kind of like be accepting of that. It's kind of like when you're from the hood, but you're dealing with a white girl that's been privileged her whole life and everything's been handed to her. You have to kind of act like that's a turnoff to you. That way now your acceptance of it becomes valuable, because it's like, well, you had it easy, like you wouldn't understand. So she almost feels guilty about that. So now it's on you to kind of sell her acceptance of it, if it makes sense. You guys will gradually start to learn what I'm talking about, but this is real player-ish. I'm telling you guys, it's basically how to make women value you. Thus, you get to charge them for your time and your energy and attention. All right, so we already went past the acceptance thing. Next would be the need to be right. So Kevin Samuels mentions this all the time. Modern women have this just strong need to be right, even when they're not right. Now, if you're dealing with an older woman, it's kind of merging the acceptance with the need to be right, because that's another thing that a lot of guys their age or older they're not really trying to accept. They're not trying to really deal with the chick that it's like always got to know it all and always got to challenge them, always got to be smarter than them, always got to be right. Well, guess what? The luxury of being the younger guy is you get to just shrug your shoulders and let her think she's right.
The reason why I date younger men is because they're not set in their ways. If they upset me or if they have a habit I don't like, I can just tell them. And for the most part, they don't get upset by it. They just change it. They go, okay, I can change that, or I can fix that. I mean, if I told an older man that, he'd be like, I'm not changing my ways, or that's just who I am, take it or leave it. Well, okay, I'm gonna leave it.
So keep in mind, if you're the same age as a chick or even older and she's trying to, challenge you and argue with you and do the whole, she's right and I told you so and all that type of stuff, it's hard for you to give her that win and still maintain your frame, because as a man her age or older, you're supposed to be the one that's right. You're supposed to be the one that's leading. You're supposed to be the one that's dominant and in control. So take advantage of the fact that when you're the younger guy, you don't have that pressure on you anymore. If a woman has you by 10 years, she's supposed to be right. She's supposed to know better than you. You get what I mean? She can easily take the lead and not take away from you, because it's like, why would I be leading you if I'm 10 years younger than you? You see what I mean? So obviously she doesn't expect all of that from you, or she wouldn't be dealing with a younger guy. So go ahead, relax, fall back, maintain your young studly frame, right? That's not threatened by her older need to be right frame. All right. So the need to be right, let her go ahead and have that. It's going to make her feel good about herself, and it's going to stroke her ego. Next, status symbol. So when women are older but successful, much like successful men will continue to drive cars the year that it is, because it's a status symbol. So you become basically that sports car now. You become that new sports car, and she will show it off to other women in her age demographic, as well as men in her age demographic or older, because the modern woman seems to think that she is indeed equal to men, especially if she's like in the workplace and she's dealing with colleagues that are men. Those men will show off their younger arm candy and so on and so forth. And because women nowadays somehow think that they play by the same rules as men, she also will have some gratification and take some pleasure in showing off her eye candy or her arm candy. Okay, so that's how you become a status symbol. All right, so the next one, guys, is Build-A-Boy. So you know how you have Build-A-Bear and you got Build-A-Bitch. Well, there are some older women that actually might either want to deal with you long term, or they just like fixing things and improving things and working on things or building things, like a boy. Build a boy.
But you know what? Eventually he is going to grow up. And when he does, he is going to be exactly what you taught him to be.
If she is showing you that she wants to level you up, she wants to put you on game, she wants to add to your wardrobe, she wants to culture you, maybe she wants to help you learn a new language, hey, let her. If she wants to make a project out of you, she wants to make you her little pet project, okay? If she's paying and you're benefiting from it, go ahead, let her be the teacher and be the guy that's boinking the professor. All right, so moving on. So the next section I have here now is where we kind of like tie in all three in the sense of sugar. So women that spend. So these are going to be the reasons why I've come to learn a woman would spend money on a guy. This is very important because it goes against, you know, what 99% of the population is familiar with. So the common consensus is that women don't share, women don't pay. That's not the case. All right. And this was a shocker for me when I got into the industry. I was really trying to figure out and wrap my head around how the heck are women giving these guys money? Like, how does this even work? How does this function? Because you don't see it anywhere else. And this is why normies will say stupid shit like, oh, well, those are ugly women that are giving guys money, or those are old women that are giving guys money. Okay. that's the assumption. But when you're in it and you're seeing it personally and in real time, I've seen women buy guys houses. I've seen women buy guys cars. And these women weren't necessarily ugly, old, fat, or anything like that. I've seen and had women my age or younger than me give me money. So, and attractive women. So that's not it. That's not the case at all. And they don't always have to be strippers or bartenders or girls that are in the industry and are monetizing their looks, although it tends to be easier with those type of women, but doesn't have to be, right? I've had hardworking women that have had like real jobs, real careers, and they still break that check. So let's go over some of the reasons why that might happen. All right, so the number one reason that I have here is that you need to make your company and your attention more valuable than her money. And I think that's the simplest way that I could put it. When I used to really think about it and try to figure out why is this woman giving me money, because there's 3 steps to it. There's how do you get her to give you your money, give you her money. How do you get her to continue giving you money and resources? And then how do you get her to give you money and resources again if she should stop for any reason? And there are multiple reasons why one might stop. It might not even that you did something wrong. Sometimes her money might run low. Sometimes something else came up. There's many reasons why. I don't think that's important. What's important is how you get them to go back to it. Sometimes you have an argument, you have a fallout. Sometimes you have to put a break on it because you don't want it to burn out. So you kind of want to reset it because it is a game that you're playing, and sometimes you have to reset it. But I think that's some advanced shit that we'll have to talk about another time. But let me go ahead and give Remy his money's worth. So just look at it this way, guys. How can you make you, or whatever you're providing her, whether it's sexual, emotional, intellectual, some type of utility, whatever it is, how do you make that more valuable than the money? That's the key to it. So, for example, if you want a woman to take you on a vacation or something like that, you need to bring more value to accompanying her on that vacation than the money it's going to cost her to bring you. And I've been flown out many of times. So I already know once I'm checking into my flight, I'm already getting in the mental mindset that I need to deliver. Like, this woman did not pay all this damn money, for me to just be like whatever, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to entertain her. I'm going to have to be fun. I'm going to have to fulfill all of her expectations, because I owe it to her. That's the whole point. You have to deliver. But before you deliver, you have to know what it is that she wants, that she's requesting. But anyway, like I said, the point is, whatever it is, it needs to be more valuable than what she's spending. So even if she just wants to make her ex jealous, well, your performance needs to make her ex jealous, and that performance and that her accomplishing that needs to be more valuable than what she spent, if that makes any sense. So if, like, for example, if she wants to take you to a restaurant that she knows people there know her ex, like maybe her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or her baby daddy knows the owner of that restaurant, he's gonna be there that night. That happening, that owner going back and telling her husband, yeah, I saw your ex-wife in here with some younger guy, that needs to be more valuable than what she spent on dinner. That's the simplest way I could put it, guys. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so number 2 would be you're not available because of lack of, right? So let me kind of try to explain what that means. So let's say she really wants to spend time with you, but the thing is I gotta work. And it's like, oh, but when are you off work? I'm never off work because I have to keep accepting the overtime because I really need money to get this new Mac because my computer broke and I need to get another MacBook ASAP. And Apple isn't even selling the older, cheaper one, so I'm going to have to get one of the newer ones. So I need money for this computer. So now she's coming out of her pocket to help you get that computer ASAP because she thinks that's what stands in between her and seeing you as frequently as she'd like to. Hopefully I explained that well. But anyway, you not being available is attributed to a lack of money. So it's going to cost money, or she's going to have to buy you what you need or pay whatever bill needs to be paid or whatever so that you can make yourself available to her. So that's just an indirect way of getting money without looking like a bum, I guess. I don't know. So the next one is she's undesirable or below average. So this is for you guys that are scraping the bottom of the barrel, the guys that are like in the clearance department. So another reason why a woman might give up some money or resources is the one that everybody guesses first, which is that she's not attractive. Nobody wants her, so she's willing to pay for it. And that's the one I wouldn't suggest or recommend. But there is a caveat to that, though, because there could be a woman that's actually very attractive, but her standards are so high that she's in a dry spell at this moment, and you might could fill that void if she views you as high enough value and she has that much money and resources that it's not really a big deal to her. I mean, look at it this way. What's 10 grand to a millionaire? It's really nothing, but 10 grand to somebody that's making $20 an hour, 10 grand is a lot of money. So if you can find the combination of a female that's attractive and she has so much money and resources that she'd rather just spend on you rather than waiting around for a high value guy to come that has the money and the looks and whatever else it is that she likes about you. That stuff is all on a person-to-person basis. It depends on what qualities you have in the first place that she's attracted to. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't even know what that is for Remy, other than he's tall as hell. Dude said he was 6'3". So Remy in particular, yeah, let me stop this because this video is for Remy in particular. So I'm giving value to everyone that's listening. But for Remy in particular, you being 6'3", my man, is a huge advantage in the sugar mama market. So we might have to get together and do some one-on-one consulting. Like if you're serious about this sugar mama thing, I really could tell you how to make it work for you with your height, because that actually will help you catch a lot of high quality sugar mamas. And if you know how to work it properly and kick the game right, that could be really lucrative for you. But we'll talk about that. Email me, Remy. Email me after you watch this. All right. So the next one is, what is the next one? Damn it. All right. So the next one is willing to invest in a man with a plan. Okay. So another reason why a woman might be sharing resources, giving you resources, sharing money, buying you things, or just straight up giving you money, is if she actually believes in you, and that you are going to be accomplished and successful in the future. You just need that startup. You just need that investment. So I want you to keep in mind, guys, everything that's going to be in this list is going to be self-serving to the woman, because at the end of the day, women are selfish creatures. So know that it will never be about you. I want you guys to know that first and foremost. That's why these first two sections are so important, because they're about the female, and they are not messing with you for you. They're not helping you for you. They're not giving you money for you. That's not how that works. That's how we think as men. As men, we'll take care of a woman because we care about them. We will give gifts and give resources and give money, and it's not a selfish, activity. We're not like, oh, I'm doing this for her because I want this in exchange. We might be already getting that. We like if I'm doing something for my woman, it's not really because I'm trying to get something back from her, because I'm like already getting that from her. I'm already sleeping with her. I'm already have her exclusively. So as men, we do just want to genuinely see a woman happy. We do just want to let her know we love her, appreciate her, and want her to feel special or whatever. But with the women, it's not that. Just keeping it real with you. Don't ever for one moment think that a woman is doing something for you. Fuck no. It's always for selfish intentions. So her investing in you is not about you. It's about her thinking that she's going to have you at that higher level. So there are women that will invest in you because they believe in you, which is a good thing. You should have potential and ambition, and you should be giving off that energy and that vibe to women. All right, so let's move along. Now, another reason is she could be very busy because she's very successful and she has a lot of authority and power, and she has all these things she has to do and oversee. So what happens is she might just go ahead and spend some bread on you or whatever to keep you around, to kind of like keep you at her disposal. So there are women that could be so successful and so busy that they can't just have like a genuine relationship with a guy, that they're not funding it because like she's hardly available. Like, she's so damn busy, she's hardly available. Most guys, especially her age and older, they're not just gonna like wait around until she's free again or available again. So she might say, you know what, let me just get me a little playboy. Let me just get me a little plaything that I can kind of give some money or whatever. That way he's obligated to make time for me whenever I'm available as a boss babe. Again, selfish reasons, guys, selfish reasons. And I want you to keep in mind, everything I'm talking about, I've experienced and I've done it. That's why I can kind of talk about it. So real quick, because I don't want this shit to run too long, but Remy did give a generous donation. So I'm going to just give you an example of an experience I had. I had a sugar mama in Montreal, in Canada. And when she would fly me out to Canada, okay, so she worked for Remax. And she had like a her own massage parlor or whatever. She didn't do massage or whatever. She owned it, and she employed like young, hot, pretty girls at her massage parlor. So she was doing real estate with Remax, and she had a massage parlor. So she was caked up. She had hella bread. So I would go to like Montreal and stay at her condo for like a few days. She had 3 vehicles. She had like a BMW X5. I don't know what model of Mercedes-Benz it was again. And then she had another car. I can't even remember what it was. It always had a cover on it. But anyway, so she would like legit be busy when I would come to Canada. I would literally see her maybe 2 to 3 hours out of the day, not including like overnight when we slept. So her time was very limited.
At this point in my life, I'm focused on my career. I'm not focused on things like getting remarried. I don't have kids, nor do I want any. This current chapter of my life is about rebuilding my life and having fun and living for the moment. And that tends to align really well with younger guys.
So I would just be in Canada like with the whole damn day to myself. So I'd either go shopping or I would go to the gym, you know what I mean? I would just try to basically kill time. So what she would do is she would give me like an allowance every day. She would tell me like if I needed money, I knew where it was, and it would be like in a cookie jar on top of the stove. So what I would do is I would take all the money every time, and I would just like spend a fraction of it, and I would just obviously pocket the rest. But she would leave a good like 300 Canadian, which at the time was more than US, every day. So if I was there for like 4 or 5 days, it would legit be like $1,500, $2,000 that I would just like have to the side, aside from what she gave me to come out there in the first place. And I knew what it was about. It was just having me available and at her disposal when she was ready to digress, when she was ready to come home and depress and relax or whatever. She just wanted that attractive boy toy there. Hey, it was what it was. She was fine as hell. So I did not mind at all. Call me whatever you want. I loved it. And of course, I screwed that all up because I ended up sleeping with her assistant. But hey, we all make mistakes. And her assistant was super fine too. Israeli girl with really beautiful eyes and curly hair. I couldn't help myself. And we related because we both were being treated the same. Like, she would just throw money at both of us and basically tell us like, do this, get this done, whatever, and when I need you, pick up the phone. So we had that in common. What can I say? But the moral of the story is, we had a falling out because of that. It wasn't bad or anything. She was very professional about it. She just gave me some money and was like, all right, I'm booking you a flight, like, take care, like, straight up. Like, she wasn't upset or nothing, or she didn't show she was. But I actually ended up getting her back a few years later. So what can I say? Pimpin'. All right, so the next thing I have here, after she's too busy so she pays, is competition. So it's another thing, is competition. So a chick could give you money, give you resources, do stuff for you, spend on you simply because you have created the aura of someone that is in high demand. So if you can show a sugar mama that you got another sugar mama or potential, or like, oh my God, these cougars can't keep their hands off of me. They keep inviting me here, inviting me there. This chick wants to take me to Dubai, but I've never been, and blah blah blah. If you can convince her of that, she'll spend. Because she feels like, oh my God, if I don't, if I don't come up with something substantial, I'm gonna lose this guy to somebody else. And as we all know, women are extremely possessive and competitive when it comes to other women. So that's how that works. So just a side note, guys, something I've learned is it's always hard to get women to do things when they think that no other woman will do that for you. If a woman feels like you can't get another woman to do something, they're not going to want to be the woman to do it. That stands for sex, it stands for utility, it stands for resources, financing, anything that a woman thinks that another woman would not do for you, she's not going to want to be the dumb bitch that does that for you. But if you can convince her of the opposite, like, all these women are willing to do this for me, then she's trying to be at the front of the line. Don't ask me why, but that's how God made them. All right, so the next thing is help, and this could be pathetic, but it could be, okay, acceptable, just depending on the situation. But women will do things for you if they feel like you're desperate and you really need the help. Me personally, I would never go with that one because I got too much pride and ego for that. But that's up to you if you want to be like needy or whatever. Like if you want to be a needy dude. But I have to be honest with you guys and list all the things that I've seen be the precursor for a woman giving a man money. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't. Never business. So I just put that in there. It's not a reason that a woman would give you money. It's a reason why a woman wouldn't give you money. So if you make it feel like a business transaction, guys, it's always going to be a turnoff for women. This is another thing that differs from men and women. A man has no problem being extremely blunt and contractual when it comes to like a sugar baby. An older guy that's like 48, 50, he has no problem straight up saying to a 23-year-old, how much is your rent? Okay, I tell you what, I will pay your rent every month in exchange for ... He has no problem saying it just like that, blunt and to the point. But with women, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If it was a 45-year-old woman, you cannot be like, yo, so my rent is $1,200 a month, yo, so you're gonna give me the rent every month and I'm gonna do this. No, you do not want to talk like that with a woman. You do not ever want it to be upfront and blatantly contractual. It can never sound like that. Even though you both know that's what it is, it can never sound like that. Even the first time that I spent time with that very same sugar mama that I told you about in Montreal, like I remember when I was leaving the villa, because she like rented out a whole villa on South Beach. The first time I met her, she came to Miami. And I remember when she told me to come see her, in my head I was like, damn, how do I make this about money without, ruining it? And I was such a rookie at the time. I was so inexperienced. I ended up not saying anything because I didn't know what to say. So after our time together was done and I was leaving, she had ordered me like lobster and the whole 9 yards to the room, and it came in the tray with the lid on it or whatever. So I had ate all of that first, before we went out and before we slept together. So when I was leaving, I was like, damn, this chick didn't give me any money. She didn't offer me any money. I know she got it. And the reason why I had that expectation is because when she said to me, hey, come visit me, come see me, come stay with me, I'm staying at so-and-so hotel, she said, don't worry about it. I know you're busy and I know your time is money. She said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. And of course, the circumstance in which I met her, I was in high demand. So she saw like, oh, this guy has all these other women that want him. And she had spent a lot of money when I had first met her. So I knew she had it. She knew I wanted it. But of course, like I said, with women, they don't phrase it the way a guy would. Like a guy will straight up say, I'll give you some money. And that's never going to turn, you know, the chick off that's receiving the money. But for a woman to say, I'm going to give you some money, she's not going to like the way it tastes coming out her mouth. So usually what they say is, I'm going to take care of you. If that's the most frequent way that they're going to frame it is, don't worry about it, I'll take care of you. And they're always going to rush through that sentence. They're never going to specify. It's always going to be vague. So when I was leaving, I was like, damn, I guess I'm not going to really get anything out of this. But, you know, the sex was great and she looked really good. So I was like, all right, I guess it is what it is, you know? And when I was leaving, I gave her a hug, I gave her a kiss, and I'm already through the door. And then she says to me, oh yeah, she said, did you get what I have for you? And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh no. She's like, Habibi, I left something for you. It's on the table in the tray. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I lifted up, you know, the lid off the, you know, the tray or whatever that the food comes in, and there was an envelope there with my name on it. So I was like, all right, this is awkward. So I just grabbed the envelope and, you know, I said goodnight to her. And I waited till I got into the car to open up the envelope. Yeah, it had 10 hundreds in it. So it was a stack. So get you a sugar mama. What can I say? But don't compromise. You know, I'm not recommending you guys compromise. I'm not engaging or dating or hanging out with or sleeping with a woman that I don't like, that I'm not attracted to. But that's just me. I've seen some really ugly older chicks with some good looking young guys, and that's on you if that's what you want to do with it. I can't do it. So yeah, so never business. Never speak about those type of things like it's business. Don't say you're going to pay a girl back. Don't make promises. Don't do any of that. Let them be the one that to offer. Don't ask. That's an important thing I got to put in there too. Don't ask women for shit. You either tell them or you mention it to them and let them offer. One or the other. You're either telling a woman to do something, you're giving her instructions, you're making a demand, you're commanding her, or you're just mentioning matter-of-factly that you have a problem or that you need something or whatever, and let her be the one to offer it to you. But that asking shit, I don't know, bro. It's the same as begging to me. So I wouldn't do it, because you lose face when you ask them for shit. And the next thing is how you would go about accessing these resources. So this is the end of it right here, guys. So this is the part, I guess, where you listen up the most. So how to get access to her resources, right? So this could have very well been the beginning, but I want you guys to get in the frame of mind of knowing that when you deal with women, it's all about them. So you have to come at it from that angle. So number one, this is when you first meet them, and it's never going to stop. So from day one all the way to the last day, you need to listen. So with women, but older women especially, listen more than you speak. Very important. The next thing is understanding. You have to understand what it is that they're trying to communicate to you, and you also have to understand what it is that they're hiding from you. So you need to understand them in general. You need to. That's why the listening is very important, because if you let women talk long enough, they will tell on themselves, especially when they're tipsy. So if you do drink with her, make sure she's drinking more than you. You don't want to be drunk, or tipsy, but let her be tipsy or drunk so that you can basically get the information, which is going to be the most important part, because the next part to that is assessing them. Assessment. So listen, understand, and assess. So understanding and assessing is not the same thing. Listening and understanding is not the same thing. So listening is just like kind of hearing what they said. Understanding is actually knowing how to interpret what it is that they mean. Not so much what they said, but what they mean. And you have to understand them better than they understand themselves. So it's not like they could really just tell you. You have to kind of notice the things that they don't even notice about themselves, right? And then the assessment is understanding how that translates to what they actually need or want, preferably both. And then part of assessment is also understanding what aspect of that can you deliver. And that's the important thing, because you're trying to figure out what's the need or desire for you in the first fucking place, so that you can basically satisfy the customer, so to speak. All right. So the next thing would be delivery, addict, and remove. So you need to learn how to get that to her. Once you figure out what it is that you got that she wants or needs, you figure out how to deliver it to her, the best way to deliver it to her so that she likes it, accepts it, desires it, wants it, values it. Okay. And then the next thing would be to get her addicted to that. So you need to get her high on whatever that feeling is, whatever it is that you're giving her. After she values it, you get her used to it, right? And then remove. Then you take it away. So you get her hooked. Then you take it away. Now you just became the dealer. Now you're the dealer of that. So if it's dopamine, you're the dealer of dopamine hits now. You're her plug now. Right? So she's not getting it from somewhere else. If it was attention, now your attention is the most valuable. If it was validation, now your validation is the validation that she seeks. If it was, sport fucking, now you're the best dick in town, right?
I have had sex with a ton of young men. Okay, I'm not going to say like hundreds, but I've had sex with quite a few younger men, and almost all of them have gone longer.
That's what you got to do, guys. If it's arm candy, you need to be, her favorite arm candy. And now you're the one that can give and take that. Okay, you become her god as far as that's concerned. And the next thing would be how to create desire and possessiveness. So now that you're the guy that giveth and can taketh away, now you have to create the scarcity. Like, oh, this chick wants it too. That chick wants some of this too. All these chicks want this dopamine. All right. So not only are you the dopamine dealer, but you got all these other potential clients, and she wants you all to herself. So this is all part of making her value you more than her money and her resources. You got to damn near have her willing to go bankrupt to keep you. All right. So create the competition, and that way you become the gatekeeper. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to put this in the description. So it's for anybody that's there, like trying to write it down, relax. You're rewinding. What do you say? It's going to be in the description. Just chill. All right. Just chill. So the next thing is you want to show gestures of appreciation and gratitude without spending money. Now, this is important. Now, okay, so if she's the sugar mama and you're the receivee, you can't be like spending your money. That's retarded. That's counterproductive. So if she gives you money, you can't turn around and like spend the money on her. That's like ass backwards. And I know this, not because I did it, because I would never do something that's stupid, but I've had more than one older woman tell me that a younger guy was doing that, and they thought it was retarded. Like, they thought it was ass backwards. I had a homeboy, his name was Andy, Cuban dude. He's cool as hell. He's like the nicest guy in the world. He's like such a sweetheart. And he had this super hot cougar, right? She was fine as hell. And she was like giving Andy money, taking care of him. I think she got it from her ex-husband or whatever. Anyway, she was like trying to spoil Andy, but he was such a sweetheart. It's like she would give him money, and then he would like turn around and like buy her flowers. He would buy her this, buy her that. And she kept on complaining to me, confiding in me and telling me. I don't know if she actually told him or she just wanted me to be the one to go tell him, but she was like, he keeps on like spending money on me and buying me stuff, and I'm like, Andy, that's not why I give you the money. That's not why I give it to him. I give it to him for him to do stuff and take care of himself and get himself stuff. And she's like, I really don't want him to keep doing that. So I don't know if she actually told him, but I did make it a point to pull him to the side, like, yo, Andy, what the fuck is you doing, man? Stop spending back the money on this chick. So you have to be able to, do things to let her know that you appreciate her, that you are grateful, that you are being responsible with the money. You are, spending it in the right place. You're making investments or whatever. You're not just like going out there and buying Jordans, and you damn sure aren't like spending it on other girls. That's a huge no-no. You do that and you are going to lose your sugar mama. Do not ever spend money on or share resources with another female that you got from your sugar mama. Absolutely do not. And what I mean by do not do it is, I don't even mean don't get caught doing it. I mean you don't do it. Like, that should be a principle that you have. If a woman is doing something for you, don't go share that with another woman, bro. Just have some fucking respect. Because if a female did that to a guy, it'd be dead wrong, right? So, act like a professional. Okay, so it's very important, you know. So you know, if you're any good at cooking, cook her something that's amazing. Let her see that you put the effort in. Be sexy about it and wear an apron, you know, and all of that. And when you do cook for women, don't have the woman come over while you cook. Time it so that the woman arrives right before you finish cooking. You want her to arrive like 10, 15, 20 minutes before you finish cooking. That way you can tell her, hey, have a seat. Let me pour you a glass of wine. Make yourself comfortable. Dinner's almost ready. All right. But that's a whole nother video. But yeah, so running her a bubble bath and lighting scented candles, remembering what her favorite music is so that you can, you know, play that romantic shit next to the bathtub. You know, foot massages, back rubs. You know, these are all ways to show effort, to make her feel special, cater to her, spoil her without spending any actual money. You have to be very careful with that. When you're dealing with older women, always show your appreciation for her and your gratitude for her non-financially. It has to require effort and creativity, not money. All right. Remember, sugar mamas give you the money. You don't give them money, or you don't spend money on them. What else did I need to put here? Also, one more thing, guys. Let me put this in here before I forget. If you guys are like actually taking this sugar mama stuff seriously and you actually want to get real things that are like tangible, you have to have those things to an extent already, to some degree. Some of those things, like for example, it's going to be tough to get a quality older woman or a quality sugar mama to buy you a car if you don't already have a car. But if you do already have a car, then it'll be easy. You know what I mean? Like if you already have a car, but it's not the greatest car in the world, it'll be a hell of a lot easier to get her to upgrade you. But if you don't have a car at all, it's going to be a little bit tougher. So that's just an example. You know, if you already have a flat screen TV, but maybe you need a bigger, newer one, I think that's a lot easier to pull off if like you don't have one at all. So just think about that, guys. Like if you have like a suit and you have a few ties, it's not really going to make a difference if she wants you to be dressing a certain way and to have nicer suits. Like if you had no suits, she would still buy you suits. You know what I mean? So there's certain areas where you don't already have to have pre-existing resources to get her to give you more or upgrade that. But in certain situations, it's gonna be crucial that you already kind of are doing that for yourself. Like for example, there's one thing to get a sugar mama to help you out with your expenses and your rent if you like already have your own place. But if you're like living with your mom, then it's like, I wouldn't even know how you would get a quality sugar mama at all living with your mom. But anyway, whatever. Let's move on. So we're all the way down here at the bottom of the list. We're almost done, guys. So yeah, make sure you show appreciation and gratitude. And the last thing that I have here is constant self-improvements. Then this is important and key to keeping any relationship with any woman, is that you're constantly improving yourself and you're leveling up. I mean, if you're with no woman, you should be doing that, like duh. But the thing is, when it comes to sugar mamas, not only is it like important or whatever, but it's like you almost owe it to them, because they're actually giving and contributing far more than a girl your age or younger would be. So because they are such a provider in the equation, it's like you owe it to them. You owe it to her. To be making improvements and leveling up, because it's really like, well, what am I investing in you for? Like, why am I helping you? Why am I doing these things for you if you're not going to be doing better? You get what I mean? Because if you're not, then you become a dependent, and she becomes like a crutch, and that's going to be a huge turnoff for a woman, because then it's like, okay, I'm wasting my time and my money and my energy with this guy. He's not getting better. I'm actually facilitating him to stay in the same spot in life. Or she might even be digressing you. She might even be bringing you down, because you're like, I don't need to go out there and work hard. I could just sit here and play video games all day because I got the sugar mama taking care of me. So let me put it to you like this before I get out of here. Sugar mamas want a stud, They want a playboy. They want a boy toy. What they do not want is a son. All right, so just look at it that way. Do not do anything that's going to make you look like, feel like, come off like a son. All right, you do not want to be a chick's kid. All right, and a lot of women will actually verbalize that. They'll be like, this guy is like having another kid. You know, he's like a grown man baby. You do not want her to look at you like that at all. You always want to be respected. You always want to be respectable. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna thank Remy again for that one. Any of you other guys want to see anything done, anything that you want me to go ahead and drop some light on, I mean, let me know. That's what I'm here for, guys. You know what I mean? Come up out them damn pockets. The content is always going to be worth it. And it is what it is, bro. Keep it authentic. I'm out here. Peace.
Spoiler alert, I primarily date younger men. And when I say younger, I mean my Bumble profile is set to 27 and I most recently dated a 21-year-old. My friends give me crap for this.